Another powerful video. This video will be available on YouTube for those of you who are tuning in on the live stream right now on TikTok. We've got a live stream running, we're shooting ads, and we've got now the video that will be long form that will sit on YouTube with everything we've discussed today. We're shooting live here from the CMOS Africa store in Brakpan. For those of you who might be looking to come pay us a visit at this particular store, it's on Google Maps. So if you search CMOS Africa Brakpan on Google Maps, utlortola. If this store is a bit too far for you, you can then search CMOS Africa near me. It should locate you to one of our other stores that are close to you. If they're all too far, you can then pay us a visit on our online world, which is always live and running, cmosafrica.co.za. Get the team shooting with me. Hope everyone who's on TikTok and everyone who's going to be watching this on YouTube is having a good morning. Today we talk about manifestation. Someone asked me to unpack more on manifestation, right? And a lot of you now, as we talk alignment and as we talk finding yourself in regards to purpose, some of you are finding it hard to bring to life the things that are aligned with you, right? And this is where manifestation comes in. So now we want to discuss like some key fundamentals around how to manifest. 1, 2, alignment in regards to the manifestations you want. And then lastly, 3, dealing with blockages in regards to your manifestations. So for me, the one I can talk strongly on is visualization, because this is the one that works best for me. All right. Have you ever heard when they say, hey, you've got such a strong imagination? Those with strong imaginations, those who in their mind's eye, they can put pictures together, right? And they can see it in their mind's eye. Those are people who've got really powerful visualization, manifestation. This is me, right? I can see things in my mind's eye before they come to life, right? I can sit and visualize in my mind's eye. This for me, I feel is the most powerful, like manifestation tool. Why do I say this? I say this because everything we see, be it cars, any sort of innovation, phones, any sort of technology, it's in the mind's eye of the creator, right? You, the individual who's the genius now behind bringing it to life. Now, you saw it in your mind's eye. Some people say, Abantu abadala brought this idea to them, right? God brought this idea to them. You downloaded. Yes, consciousness doesn't sit here in the physical matter on the brain. We are constantly downloading consciousness, right? So now, every day you can work on the process of seeing your visualizations in your mind's eye. Now, this requires someone who has tamed their mind, because if you haven't tamed your mind, you're going to have challenges, right? You have to tame the mind. Why do I say this? A lot of you linali challenge in self-doubt, right? Not being in control of your thoughts. In what sense? Every time you look at your situation, you don't ever see yourself climbing out of that hole. You don't ever see yourself climbing out of that hole. And it begins there. You have to see yourself far from where you are currently in terms of having achieved the things you want to achieve, right? Everything I've achieved has been through visualization. So every night before bed, I would lie in my bed and see myself where I'm at right now. So normally when I propose something or I sell something or I showcase something, it's from experience, personal experience, right? So visualization is such a powerful tool. Be able to see it in the mind's eye, right? Visualize. So literally close your eyes and see yourself there. This requires someone with a strong imagination. Now, some of you have challenges around that particular process where you can't quite see it in your mind's eye. Your mind is not wired like that to be able to put pictures together. So some of you need to bring it to life maybe by writing them down, right? Write them down, and you have to be specific. So write a list of your manifestations down and be specific, right? Be specific. But by be specific, I also say be realistic. The universe is not going to put you in a position where now you will suffer because You took a decision, or rather, you're seeking to manifest something that doesn't quite align with you. So some of you, you're not ready for that big money you want. Let's be honest. Why? Because you don't have the responsibility required. Ke ba baya machita. Let's talk now ka machita. O phahlela gore dilo tsa hae di bulehe, gore a tlo thola zaga, gore a tlo dila le difebe. Let's be honest with that one, right? A lot of guys are there. Ke batla zaga so ke tlo ba le style, ha ke ba le style ke tlo dila le difebe. You understand? And then now, this is not aligned. This is not true. This is not progressive, right? So we have to be realistic in that sense. So sometimes your manifestations, they'll come forward when you've got a sense of discipline. What do I mean? Maybe you found a partner that you're looking to build with, and then you and this partner now are able to take things forward because now you've got something that you are looking back towards. Now, this is now something we also need to see in terms of our alignment as well as our manifestations. Now, okay, cool. So now we're talking about being realistic within your manifestations. I'm not saying don't dream big. I'm saying since you know yourself and you know that you've got an aspect of ill discipline, then perhaps you should manifest the discipline side of things first, right? Discipline, grounding, so that they can provide perspective to you such that you can have the grounding that you need, so that when you go forward, you have the discipline needed. Trust me, money requires discipline, because if you don't have discipline, money will be the thing that kills you. That very thing you thought you needed most so that your life can go forward. So it's going to be the thing that kills you, all right? Let's go for a quick ad break before we continue. Now, a lot of us are looking to deal with ancestral karma, right? Ancestral karma, what is it? Bloodline-based karma affecting your progress in regards to dilo tsa hao tsa bophelo. And then now, we want to cleanse the bloodline-based karma. Ekimkoka, ne? Or black eye bean. This is powerful incense ya hore a o ka feta mfa ona bothata lokoloha ne. Ho ya. Sharp sharp. So black eye bean is good for ukudila nomkhokha, right? So for those of you who are proficient kaSizulu, la tseba hore umkhokha yini, right? It's something that is ongoing within the family. So someone died violently and sifuna ukuvala umkhokha wakhona. So re ka spana ka mkhokha seed. Re ka hlapa ka ona, they go well ka iwasho, ne? Or certain cleanse mutis. A few of the seeds, we drop it into our steam. We drop the herb into the steam like umutom shope, right? And then we steam and we talk and we bring it into existence. What? The detachment from the karma, from our bloodline, right? Some of you are called to do bloodline bloodline purges. Nah? Your job is to cleanse the bloodline. Udilaka ingi the generational curse. So mkoka seed will be good for you in that sense. 60 Rand, 400 grams a thing. You can keep a bit of it in your wallet, in your pocket. You can sprinkle some in your prayer space. So you can just keep this in an environment where you're looking to deal with misfortune. If you read the benefits studying, we talk here, ancestral blessings, spiritual permissions, cleansing energetic deaths, bloodline based, right? Activation of money. That's why I say you can put some in your wallet. Attraction of opportunities, protection of finances, focus and clarity, confidence and faith. Umkoka seed, 60 Rand. Back to manifestation. All right. We've now spoken about visualization as a key tool for manifestation, right? You got to be able to see it in the mind's eye. But now, some of you have challenges around taming the mind because you don't see yourself ever coming out of there. Now, we've spoken about how you must write them down. What do you do once you've written them down and you are specific, right? And you are specific. What do I mean by be specific? So, point one, I want a house in Durban, right? Where in Durban? I want a house in Musgrave, Durban. I want the value of the house to be around 5 million Rand. Point two, I want to practice polygamy. I'd like to have 2 wives. My wives must be spiritual in nature. My wives must be loving. My wives must prioritize nurturing. I'm specific, right? 3, I want a Porsche 911 GTS Turbo in white, right? black interior, red rims, or whatever. I'm specific, right? 3, I want to be able to sustain myself financially. My goal is to make 10 million a year, right? 1 million rand a month, for example. Huh? So I'm specific. 4, I want to change the situation yasendlini. Endlini, we don't live well. I want to move us out from lesihlala kuyo manje to a house close to the beach in the Eastern Cape. PE to be specific. You gotta be specific. What are you doing when you're doing this? You're sending out a specific signal to the universe. Why? Because the universe calibrates on being specific. If we're trying, that's why they'll use like people's photos, for example, when they're doing spiritual work, because we're looking for a specific individual, right? Or they'll use the clothing. We're looking for a specific individual. So we need the scent, we need the location, we need clear direction, right? Clear direction. So in essence, this is what we're doing to the universe. Then you can spark some candles. I propose you work with yellow, blue, green. Now, I'd also add a brown candle. Why? Because we plant our seeds, right? We plant our seeds in soil. So that brown represents the soil where we will plant our seeds, right? Then the green represents what will now, the plant bursting and coming through, right? The green, it represents that. Here's the monstera, for example. This is the plant of expansion. Huh? The monstera is the plant of expansion. So if we seek to expand our things, and one of your goals in terms of manifestation is to expand, that's why I'm nurturing it, because my goal is to expand this business. So you'll notice earlier I was wiping the leaves. I'm nurturing it. I've got one at home even. Because my vision is to take what this plant does in terms of expanding and transmute this energy into my things. So you can do the same. Give monstera, Monstera, right? So you can have it in your prayer space. You have the candle set up just like this, right? Blue, yellow, green, and then brown. Then your manifestations, nah? Then you read them in the prayer space. You call upon your guys. Then you read your manifestations. Right? You read your manifestations. Okay, cool. But now, another topic we have to go deeper into is the fact that, okay, as above, so below. So all manifestations come from spirit before they manifest here in the physical. So if you've got spiritual debt, it's hard to manifest here in the physical, right? 8 is the number that connects the material world with the spiritual world, the infinity sign, right? 8. So what are the key fundamentals to being an 8? As an 8, you must be spiritually grounded, right? You must have spiritual wealth before you can manifest any type of material wealth, right? So now that we understand this, even in our prayers to manifest, but to ask Utuana, you are yet to engage in spiritual work to really raise the vibration of your people. You aren't consistent enough in connecting Nabantabatala. You're just not there. The only time you come forward to them or the universe, right? When we reference Abantabatala, we're talking about the universe, right? We are talking about the universe. That's why they say you are the universe, right? Okay, cool. So anyway, some of you might need a pre-prep process to raise your vibration, to connect with your people. And then now, before going into the process of asking for things, right? Let's work on the deeper things. Okay, Bantabatala, I'd like to manifest a higher vibration for myself so that I can be in a position where I can be in alignment, Nani, so that I can find clarity around the direction that I need to take in regards to my things from a spiritual context. Some of you need to go there first. We work the foundation first. So normally I go on 9, 18, 27, 36. Nah? 9. So we go on a 4-week cycle or 4 9-day cycle. Why do I do this? What's the science behind this? So a lot of you come, izinto zami ziyabheda, right? Okay, fine. Manje bengifuna ukuthi ngizobona ukuthi kwamele ngizilungise kanjani izinto zami. So we want to take you from zero. Here you are. Zero is God, right? It's the quantum field. Nothing has manifest yet. And we want to plant the seeds for our manifestations. But we need to become one with God first, right? We need to become one with God first, right? So that's why we go first 0 to 9 days, is to get confirmations around what are the things that I need to do to align with God, right? To fulfill the purpose. That's why a 9, their role is more humanitarian based, right? If you're a 9, so born 18th, born on the 9th, born on the 27th, yeah? Those people, they are 9s, right? Or if your life path number reduces to 9, all right? It's God above all that creates this number 9, right? You must become one with God, right? With the spiritual essence, with the quantum field. So you must balance. And then now this 0 is 360 degrees. That should give you now context. What do we mean? 3. 3 is the number of communication. 3 is the number of balancing past, present, future. 3 is the number of balancing solid, liquid, gas. 3 is the number of balancing the mental, the physical, and the spiritual plane. You understand? So we must have control of the mental side of things. We must have control of the spiritual side of things. And we must also have control of the physical side of things. So we must balance the trilogy. We must balance. And then 6 is 9, but it's different. So we must change things around, right? 6, right? 6, 9. Again, but we must change things around. So we must switch things around. And then the 0 for us to connect with God. But then that creates 9, right? Our goal here in the confirmation phase is so that abantu abadala can come to you with confirmations around wena kahle kahle udinga ukucleanser from context yan. There's debt that you have. Why? Because there are things you engaged in that have affected your progression. And they are now creating blockages for you to vibrate such that whatever you speak out to the universe will respond. So, go do this, go do that, right? There are these things that you need to engage in. First 9 days. Once we are one with the confirmation, now this is 18, right? Day 18, right? Rather, day 9, 1 to 9 of the 18 cycle. I get 9, 18. So once we are one with what? The confirmation. Okay, abantu abadala have come back to me. It has been confirmed that minang ninking is so, right? Then 1 to 8, I get it. Those two numbers. It's 1 and 8 that create the new 9. That 1 and 8, we become one with the confirmation. So meaning we know our true reality of the issues we are facing. And then we want to bring in the balance. I said 8 is the number of balance. It's balancing as above, so below. Right? So once we are one, we then bring in the balance of engaging in the spiritual work consistently, right? Dealing with the karmas. 8 is the number of karma, right? Dealing with all of that. Now, then we start to do the cleanses, for example. Then we start to go out into nature to connect. Then we start to get clarity as to how we need to navigate. Then we get to the 27, 9, 18, 27, right? Here, now we found the balance. It's 2 and 7, right? We found the balance. So we've balanced what's on the left and what's on the right. This will then allow us to take charge and action the change. 7 is the number of change, right? Each of these 9s, they come together through different numbers, right? So we found the balance, meaning I'm balancing the best of both worlds. I am engaged spiritually. Now I can also engage in talking about money stuff. So 9, 18, 27, that third 9-day cycle is when we can start to talk money, when we can start to talk progression from a career perspective. And also, you've now shown the universe that you are able to dedicate time to things around your progress that are not material based. You understand that we are not this. We are not the flesh. You are grounded in the spiritual side of things, hence the balance, right? The 2. Then the 7. Now we take change. This is where we can start to bring in topics around money. Then we go 36. That's the last 9-day cycle. So I'm talking about a 4 9-day cycle prayer process. The first 2 are confirmation, and then we engage in process here. Once we are one with the confirmations, we balance the karmas, right? 8. Then once we found the balance, we action the change. 2, 7. Now 3, 6. Right? Now we are one with the quantum field. Now we've become God, right? 3, 6. 360 is the same as 36, right? Now we are one with God. We've gone full 360 now, right? We've gone full circle in terms of our process of aligning our things and manifesting, right? Now, once we've balanced the Mother, the Father, and the Holy Spirit, solid, liquid, gas, past, present, future, right? The physical state, the mental state, and the spiritual state. Nah? Then we can bring in the 6 and switch things up, right? 6. 6 is 9, right? 36 now. This is where we are now understanding, okay, these are now the holistic things long term that I need to engage in to change my life. We are now one with God, with the quantum field, right? Then we bring in what? Metatron, right? Metatron, another grand spark. This is the sperm now. Now we can start to manifest from true power, right? Now we can, because the Merkaba now has reached this level of balance and now it's playing in your favor too. It's now pushing you towards being able to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Then we can now have our manifestations written on paper, visualize them. We'll also have full control of the mind. And also this process shows you dedication, right? It shows that you're committed. You're able to do it even though kshubi, right? You're able to navigate the variables step by step and show the universe that you're consistent and this is what you truly want, right? I hope this gives everyone context that it's not just a one-time thing where your things are going to switch up. I've given you now a 9-day process that you can work on to bring you closer now to what? The higher self, so that what? When you speak out into the universe listens because you are now God, right? At 36, you should be God, right? Okay, let's go for another ad break. Okay. What's good? Back again here to talk to you about this powerful herb. Lo, my people, lo. Moratlakola. Here we are purging with cleansing. Especially for those of you who are dealing with things like spiritual wives, spiritual wives and husbands, right? Both men and women can suffer this consequence. Right? It will purge. It will tlakola. In Afrikaans, this tree is called boekenhout, or red bark tree. You'll notice, can you see there, it's got like this red tone. Well, as it dries, it becomes much darker. Uma people. How do you work kayona? Okay, chesa, waorella. Or you can bath with it, or you can put it in your steam. It will cost you 80 Rand for 100 grams of Uma Pipa herb. Yeah? Sure. Okay. I hope everyone is clear now. Now we know 9-day cycle times 4. We've done this process. We've gotten 36. Now we're in the process of manifestation. Now we've spoken about whether visualization will work best for you or writing the manifestations down will work best for you. You can try one of the two and see. So most people who don't have control of their mind, visualization is not going to work for you because you've got too much self-doubt. Self-doubt is part of the process, all right? It's part of the process. But if every day when you've got this self-doubt or what's that term? Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome where you feel you don't belong, right? Even though the universe is saying, hey, when I'm wrong, and because when you yourself feel like you don't deserve to be in those type of spaces, you don't deserve to see yourself moving in a Porsche 911. You feel that, right? And therefore, this reality comes to life. This is why perception control is one of the biggest tools used by those who seek to control the way we move, right? There are those who want to control the way we move. So one of their key drivers is perception control. That's why independent thought is not promoted. They want to control your perception because they then control creation through controlling your perception. That's why we need to quit this thing, thinking bongamla they're above us. And Rona, as Botaki, right? I hate being called Ngamla. Shongamla. No, Kitaki, right? And from context of the higher power. In fact, I'm a god, right? Let's call each other kings and queens. Khoshi, right? Kings and queens. Because this thing, it creates a vibration. Now, every time we look at each other and we see each other from such a low context, right? And the moment you come out of the low levels, now society will then refer to you as ungamla. Yabon? Ah, ungamla wena. Yabon? So understand that as we navigate this path, we must control our perception. No one else must control it. We must be the ones who are in full control of the way we see ourselves, the way we perceive ourselves. Tame the mind or the mind tames you. So sometimes this means canceling more Instagram, canceling more TikTok, canceling all these social media places that are putting unnecessary pressure on you because you're seeing people living the life you want to live, but you're not living it yet. And this is now giving you depression. Although I'm some type of way about that, right? But you do what you gotta do, right? Sometimes you gotta isolate yourself, especially in the process of manifestation. Now, let's go for another ad break. Okay, some of you feel how in regards to charity from abantu abadala don't come the way you want them to. Kintindili, kitheledi kaspedi, all right? So Dingakateding will have it as an amulet around their neck. Maybe you can show them like the different use cases of Intindi, also known as a drift seed, right? Yes. 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 Okay. On the topic of manifestation, how can we use drift seed? Drift seed, we can take it. Now, some of you want to know, especially around alignment, right? Am I aligned with the things I seek to manifest? So, in regards to that detail, you will take this and drop this into your steam water or into your bath water. What do you want to do? You want to invoke visions around what are the things you should truly be working on manifesting currently. What do I mean? Where is your energy best allocated currently? Why? Because some of you don't know where to allocate your energy as per the season you're in, right? Some of you don't know where to allocate your energy as per the season you're in. Some of you are trying to allocate energy to Mjolo when you're not in the season. You're lonely, and Obonankare Mjolo is going to assist you to move away from being lonely when actually you're in the season of self-isolation, self-regulation, self-control, self-conquering. So this is why you're alone. This is why you're alone. But because you don't know the season you're in, here you are praying for a partner, praying for Rumuntu, Funumunt, and the universe is not answering, and you're wondering why. It's just not the time. So, Teledi can bring about revelations around what manifestations should you be engaged in the current season you're on, especially for those of you who are unconscious of the season you're in, right? Get in Tindi. This will cost you 50 Rand, D4 in here, 4 of them. You can keep them in your pocket. This is my personal one. I have it in my pocket. I ride with it sometimes. I have some in the car, have some in the house, have some in the prayer space. Huh? So, for those of you seeking to know what manifestations should I be engaged in currently, let's talk more about those navigating a spiritual calling. Those of you navigating a spiritual calling now, and you want to know which aspect of your calling should you be manifesting currently? Because our callings are broad and they are vast. It's not just one size fits all. So some of you are trying to lock it into one perspective, and because in the perspective you thought it's in, nothing is happening, right? Nothing is happening. Okay, nna ke boprofeta ke batla ho tsamaya tsela ya boprofeta so ke tsamaya kereke, and prophecy doesn't belong to church, by the way, but o tsamaya kereke, there you are doing your thing in church, but nothing is happening, right? Moya o sa kwalehile. So you then use drift seed to bring about revelation around which aspect of your calling should you be manifesting. Which aspect of your calling should you be manifesting? Let it tell in regards to where you should be going. And then remamela ditoro, we listen to gut feel. Because sometimes the universe is nudging you in a particular direction, but because you don't listen, right? And you don't have control of your conscious state. You gotta have control of the conscious state, because then the dreams are clear. Take this direction, go do this, go do that, engage there, so on and so on. Okay, cool. So now that brings it to where I want you guys to be in regards to understanding the power of manifestation and how to use manifestation to bring your things to life, right? We can use these two tools, which have worked for me, right? Visualization as well as writing the manifestations down. I've done these two personally. The one that works best for me is visualization. Now, also, the universe wants to know why you want to manifest these things. And if they're ego based, it's rare that you'll be able to manifest them, all right? So this is why I say, if you're praying from context ya ke batla zaga gore ke tlo ba le resources tsa ho qeta ditjhere, it's not gonna work. Or ke batla zaga from context ya ngifuna ukuqindezela abangani bami, I want to wear the most expensive clothes, I want to show them, ngifuna ukubabonisa, it's not gonna work. The universe will not feed your ego. It will not feed your ego. It will not. The only thing that will feed your ego are the dark covenants. It's the dark covenants that will feed your ego, horala, and so on and so on. Those are the things that will feed your ego. Why? Because Vale, it wants you to die in the lowest vibration of all, so that once in purgatory, they can use your spirits with ease. You're easily manipulated, and you're trapped in the lower realms for longer. Right? You're trapped in the lower realms for longer. In fact, you might be trapped there for eternity. That's why some of you, unfortunately, you're not even dreaming about some of your relatives who are late. Because where they are is extremely dark. They are far. They are far. And for you to locate them, 6, 7 generations from now, to come out of now, the lower realms. Okay, cool. Now that we understand all of this and we are clear on this, understand that manifestation, this is a power we all have. This is a power we can all execute on. We can all use such that we can bring things to life, but not from an ego context. So show the universe, okay, I want to manifest a van. Why? This van I have a going concern, which is business-based, and we need to travel. And the areas we travel in, preferably, we need to move Gavan. It works better if remove a Gavan. It's easier for us to go around. So the universe sees that there is an actual need for this thing, right? There is an actual need for this thing. And then we go. It goes back to the example I made earlier. Understand the relevance of the manifestation as per the season you're in, right? Because some of you are trying to manifest things that are not going to serve you in the moment. They're just going to distract you from the grand vision and the trajectory you're on. Huh? Okay. Sure, Bafis. What time are we on now? 10 to? Oh, no, as in shoot time. Tell me, how long? 33 minutes. Okay, cool. Let's shoot another ad quickly. Okay, another ad break, Buffett. Back again. Eki Sambulo. Sambulo ke revelations. Some of you seek revelations. So we spoke about the 4 9-day cycles 9, 18, 27, 36. So sometimes it happens that in the first 9 days, where we are now looking for confirmation as to what is the best direction forward. What is it true that I need to? Because maybe you've gone for a consultation and hey, when you've got a calling, right? Now you seek confirmation on the matter. You've got a calling, or you seek confirmation around things linking to ancestry. Right? So in this first 9 days, you might go and you engage in this 9-day prayer, and you don't get any confirmations. Then you come back after 9 days, and then now we are one with the fact that, when you are not able to receive downloads, right? Now we seek to bring the balance. 18, this 1 to 8 cycle, one of the herbs we can work with in the 18 9-day cycle, kiona sambulu. Kiona e re tlo spanang ka yona gore re tlo thola tsona di revelations tse re di hlokang to bring about the as above, so below consciousness, right? We want to know how is our above state, so that we can then bring in this balance. By above, I'm referring now to the spiritual state, right? 50 gram ya sambulo ke 90 rand. Spana jwang ka yona, wa fotha ka yona, wa hlapa ka yona. Some people ba kapa ka yona. 90 rand, 50 gram ya sambulo. Revelations. Sure. Okay, cool. No, me, I'm set, gents. Do you guys maybe have questions around what we've discussed, maybe as Final point. No, no, let's not take questions from TikTok. Keralon, Lily too. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? This message was for you guys, by the way. Yeah. All right. That's for you guys. Very critical. As Banna, right? As Banna, it is important for us to have manifestation on lock because our responsibility is hectic. You understand? Tlamehile o manifeste lelapa. You get me? And ko lelapeng le tlamehile go be le certain things that bring the home together. So you gotta manifest one, having the resources or whatever going concern to put the money in the pocket to be able to buy this home, and then you gotta manifest a good wife. Our responsibility is hectic as Machit. That's why I say Machita rapella zaga for the wrong going concern. Yeah. So that's why I get kolona clear on this one. Yeah, manifestation. So write them down, be specific, or visualize them in your mind's eye. Whatever works best for you. Some people will spana like a vision board. Like a vision board. I've never used that, so that's why I'm not speaking on that personally currently. Nah, visualizing it, being able to see it in my mind's eye. Saying that, that's the best for me. Yeah, because a lot of guys, their life is not going the way it should. As they'll describe it, right? And because they have no control, what are they resorting to? Substance abuse. Kokasi, up sharper every day, because wants to detach from reality. Why? No control of the mind, right? Yeah, so as Munna, you must face the dark night of the shadow. Because if you aren't able to face the dark night of the shadow, you aren't able to go through that which you need to go through so that connected with the light. We have to face the dark night of the shadow. This is now the path of the masculine energy, right? To connect with divine masculine, you must now navigate this particular journey. This is why our initiatory process is probably one of the toughest. Yeah, to navigate horobe munna. But that can relate to what I'm talking about. That term is not just carried by anyone. There are old men who still they don't behave like indot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a state of mind. It's a vibration. It's so much. It's so deep. And then now, Basadi, who they are right now, Sri Lanka Kabona, is because of the way we are navigating. Right? They're magnetic, we are electric. Therefore, we charge them. We give them their magnetic resonance through our electricity. This is why it is us building the world. Cut that call, please. This is why it is us building the world, right? And through our leadership, right? Through our guidance. Are executing so. It is us engaged in some of the most dangerous jobs in the world to bring about. We then know, okay, msadunal power ya manifesta, msadunal power ya bringing our creations to life. This is why we share our vision with them, so that they can then, in their heart of hearts, believe that you can do it, because we know their power, all right? Because they are magnetic. They can now attract this thing. Monna ha o rapella a kopa hore dilo tsa hao di vaye sharp wa tseba le ena gore no, Tammy wants to build this, wants to build that. Hantsa rapela, she attracts it as a magnetic. You charge it. You bring in the electricity. Okay, I know. Thank you guys for tuning into our stream. Make sure if you plan to rewatch this video, you head over to YouTube. It will be on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, CMOS Africa on YouTube channel. Full length video. Probably will cut some of the clips and push them onto social media as well, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe there. Sure, Buffets. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.